Hello and welcome to something that's very different from anything I've done before, but I think I've got, well, even since I've started doing videos, I've had quite a lot more reason to do something like this, because when I started making videos, I didn't really have much of a merch collection. In fact, you will see later on the original few items that I did have. Um, Some of them did include, as you can see here, on-ride photos. Didn't have many of them though, not like a whole wall like this. Um, but yeah, this is a merch tour, and a lot of people have done things like this on YouTube before, and I thought I'd get this out. I'm not really sure how often I'll do these. I'm thinking possibly like 3 months, 6 months, but it might be once a year. It just depends kind of how often I end up getting merchandise, really. Um, but yeah, so this is the first section, and you will probably see some of the little bits as I get further in. But this is a wall just of on-ride photos. So these are, I don't even know when my oldest one's from. I think it's that one from, well, there's a couple actually, from 2014. I think they're the oldest ones. Basically, I don't have any ones where I'm like really young on the pictures. I have got a couple, but the ones that I have on display are the ones that I'd prefer to get like from a certain point. So this is it, and I'm not going to go through every single one because I don't know how many there are altogether, but there's probably like over 200 maybe, because they span all the way across there. You can sort of, you might recognise a lot of them from more recent videos, but there's some older ones like this one. This one's actually the oldest, I think, 2013. Yeah. Um, and yeah, you will recognise some of them from like more recent videos I've made. Um, there's a few like duplicates of photos that were on the same day. Um, yeah, there's some that I quite like because they're from rides that are defunct. There's some that you can't get, like this one was only very briefly available for a year in Madame Tussauds Blackpool. Um, you've got the Gangster Granny one, you can't get that anymore. The photo thing's still there, but you can't get the photo anymore. And obviously, there's a few that, like I said, will be recognisable. Like, because when I first started putting them up, it was in 2023. So some of the ones from 2022 would have appeared in vlogs in 2021. This one, I should get signed. I should have got it signed by John Wardley, but I didn't. This is my favourite of all of them. This is very special. And I do have my original Nemesis t-shirt from that day. Still fits, and I will probably frame it when it doesn't fit anymore. That was the day I did Hex the first time. That date there was the most special date to me until probably when I went to Chessington and then when I went to GullyCon. But I think, so this year, it took 4 years to really get a date. But in terms of a day, just purely at a theme park, this is still the most special day. And I think a lot of people already know about that anyway. Yeah, also it's not just photos on this wall, it is mainly, but it's all framed around this, which is the Carter's final tour poster. Obviously this was only available for, well, less than a year really, because obviously it was only available when they were doing the final fairs. This is a nice piece, it is in the middle of these. I probably wouldn't put it there now, but that's because it was the only poster I had, so I thought it'd work as a nice central piece. And it does, I really like it. Yeah, and obviously it's surrounded by all of these photos. You got that one, Shockwave. Unfortunately, you couldn't get one. I always thought you should be able to get one for the last stand when they actually did like the final thing. I thought the last few months it would have been nice, but they didn't do one. They just did the Halloween one, which is the one I've got there. Yeah, and of course as they span more over here, there are a few older ones, but that's basically because some of them when I was making videos from parks, I wasn't putting the pictures up until I'd like been made a video on that park. So like there's a Warrington one up there, but it comes after. You can see like these ones from 2023, And then there's the Warrington ones from 2015 that are up there. That's not really... They should be like over on this side where the earlier ones are. But they're up there. It's nice to have Wild 9 ride because you can see it hailing there as well, same ride. The camera's in a different place though. And then as you pan across here, you can see like one of the next parts of the collection. You've got obviously Chessington. The Postman Pat one's up there, that's just because I printed them all off at the same time, so that's what I was waiting for to really make this video. And then the Fantasy Island ones, which is the most recent. But yeah, it's really nice, and as I collect these more, like yeah, I've got a few more from Thorpe Park coming up soon. But yeah, it's just a really, it's probably the collection with the most items that I've had here. Like, this is the collection I've had for the longest. But yeah, I'm just glad to have all of this because it just shows like all over the years, and especially that one really just shows how far I've come since that moment, and then being on all of these other rides. And yeah, you might notice like Cadabra and Jewel somewhere. I can't. There it is, Jewel. Yeah, there's a lot of defunct rides. Log Flume at Yarmouth, and there's some photos that you can't get anymore, like I said. And then you've obviously got the rides that some of them I've had like updated photos on, so you can see. Like Ice Blast, I've got 3, but obviously that won't be available now. It will have a different backdrop on it. And then you pan across to all of these. It would be nice to get one on Hex, but it wouldn't work. So, you know, I'd just like to have something on the wall for that, because it is another special ride. It's just, an on-ride photo wouldn't work on a Madhouse anyway. So yeah. But here we go, the next part of the collection is the plush cuddly toys. This is the second one I started collecting, and basically the first one I got was Gully Mouse. He's there, and then it expanded. There's a few sort of hidden down there, if you can see them. Then I got Woody Bear from Pleasurewood Hills, and then it just spanned on and on. Over the years, you've got Twin Lakes one, you've got Highland. There are a few ones from just places, and then there's a few that are, you know, like mascots. Chuck E. Cheese, I got 2 of those for Christmas last year. There is another one that you can just see the ears back there. This one's my favourite. This is the 2012 Rockstar Chuck, and then you've got the 2021 version. I just wanted something animatronic based, and obviously you can't get Showbiz ones because they're either special editions, which are really expensive, or they're vintage ones, which are really expensive. So I'm glad I got Chuck E. Cheese. And that's the one that really stands out on there, even though I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese, but I definitely would like a Mitzi and a Billy Bob, but yeah, they're not hard to find at a good price, unfortunately. Yeah, only one Alton Towers one, that's Nemesis Monkey. And, well, my favourite ride that has a plush. Like I said, there's no Hex one, but again, what would you do? Because I don't think a cuddly Charles Talbot would really suit it very well. You got Wiki Bear, James Acaster's hero as a childhood there. That's obviously Wicksteed. There's a couple of Chuckle Beans. There's one there, and I can't see the other one, but it's hidden somewhere. Like there's like a Black Gang Chine cowboy as well. There's the Robin Hill peacock, which I think is still the mascot, so I think you still can buy that. But that was one that was like a really big one that was quite cheap, and then they were selling them off, and then there was a smaller one that wasn't cheap. I don't know why that was the case. There's this one meerkat here from Dudley Zoo, which is one that I won from a raffle, I think, a long time ago, but it's from Dudley Zoo, so I've got it on there. You got like Western Supermare, or Western Super Bear it should be called, but Skegness Sheep and Fantasy Island, obviously it lives in them. There's a Blackpool Tram one. I was going to make a vlog from that. I bought it from the tram depot, but I didn't make a vlog from it, and I should have done. So if I go there in the future, which I probably will,
then obviously that's where that's from. But I like it on the shelf at the moment because it is. I've shown Blackpool trams and things as well. There's the Sick Panda, which is great. Big Dipper there. There's another Blackpool one at the top. That's from the 125th. And there's also a Leo from Great Yarmouth. And when I've heard that Britannia Pier are now doing bears, which means that I can complete the set, can't I? Because there's a Joyland bear hiding somewhere. And I might get a Sammy the Snail if I can. There's obviously Woody from Pleasurewood Hills. There's Leo from Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. And then you've got Britannia Pier's got one now, which completes the set. And I'm really happy about that. Yeah, it's really, really good. Some of them are like generic, like the Wookiee Hole one, there's a Cheddar Gorge one. I think that's the Cheddar Gorge one. They've got just like a backpack on or a t-shirt with a logo, but it's still really nice to collect them because they're still personalised to the attraction. The Jelly Baby's just from Cadbury World. It's not actually Cadbury World, but it is from there, so I like to have it on there. But yeah, that's the next part of the collection. And next up is the shelf that's behind me. There's also loads of other things on there that are from various different attractions. Yeah, so next I was going to do like my main shelf behind, but I thought I'd leave that till last because it's probably better to do that last. But I do have underneath my plush shelf this, which is where I store, like just these two compartments here, I store all of my Xbox games and like camera equipment and things. That's not really interesting, but I just thought I'd show this. This is a custom DVD cover that I made for the Space Pirates animation. It's basically one that I downloaded off a website and I just put my pictures on the back. This, if you look in the trailer video that I made on my channel, the first one in the playlist, I've put the link to this in the description, and also on the inside I made, there's no discs in it yet, I haven't made those yet, but I did make a little like leaflet with all the episodes on it as well, which is also available to print. But yeah, then there's my first shelf of Xbox games, which some of these I haven't played yet. I've definitely finished these two. This one I'm not sure about. I don't think I've finished that one. Lego Worlds is just one I go back to sometimes. Obviously Planet Coaster, this one. It's not got the disc in because it's in the console, but this is the one that I've used so much obviously over the years. It is the disc copy that I've got, which is nice to have it physically because obviously the last two games I don't. Yeah, I've played the first part of that Doctor Who game. There's two like separate games on there. Crash I used to play a lot. Forza, first one I've started this as well. Lego Dimensions I've got a lot of. I don't have all of, I've got like a cupboard with all the characters and I don't have all of the level packs and stuff, so I don't have all of that, but all the ones I've got I've played, and then there's a few that I haven't even started. This one I've done more than half of, I think, and then there's just the last two down there which I've barely played. But yeah, now I'm going to go on to like the main shelf. So here it is, and just next to it though, I've got all of the wall pieces. So this is from Poulton's. Then there's three from Blackpool, different ride parts: Raging River, Wild Mouse Wheel, Wild Mouse Wood, and the Grand Prix piece, which I will show. It is big. You've probably already seen it on Instagram. Then you've got most of the pictures of me with different heroes that I've met in theme parks and animatronics. Not all, there are a couple more that are higher up. One of them is like my most special one that I never thought I'd get, and then there's another one that I've had for a long time, not my first one, but these are the ones. So you've got Nox Survives, Charlotte from Diver Roller Coaster Girl, Roller Coaster Rachel, you've got Zan, obviously Looney's Lounge and Rockafire Restorer, Digital Dan, who you might notice was on the same day as a later one. Sean, that's my second one with Sean. I have met him 3 times, but I didn't get a picture with him the last time I met him. And then you've got, I always forget his name, he's from the Channel UK Theme Parks, that's at Hayling. You can see that, what is it, 3 of these are at Alton Towers. It tends to be a place I go and meet people a lot. There's also this nice bumper car sign from an antique shop. It is like a proper metal sign. I'm not sure, because I have seen them online, I'm not sure if it was just something that they used at a fair, or if it was like something you could buy to replicate a fair. It might have just been something you could buy and like stick on a Dodgems, I'm not sure. And then the lanyards from the vampire event. And I've got some drawings that I've done that I just like to have up in my room, really. Yeah, and then that's a stick and velocity a little bit of it's like a canvas print. And then up there you've got the certificate for the brick that I've got at Blackpool on the wall. There's a wild mouse, like a sort of computer drawing I did on Paint 3D using like shapes and things. And then there's the second, that's the first picture of Sean, the second one I've shown. And then you've got the characters from my second complete book, which I haven't actually released yet, although I have got another poem being released probably after, directly after this video. And there's my very special picture, John Wardley, up there. I never, honestly, last year, if you've seen, never thought I'd ever have that picture, so I couldn't thank him enough for that. Yeah. And then you've got this, which is my massive Grand Prix Blackpool. I mean, it's a crowd cutout. I don't even know what else you'd call it, really. This is obviously, you could buy these online from the shop. I think they're still sort of available. I'm sure that you can still buy a few of them. They're only like 90 something. I'm sure there was less than 100 of them that were available altogether. This one looks great, and I was going to put that in the hand, but it wouldn't really work because every time I opened the door, it would go. Basically, it'd fall off, so it looks better just kind of up there, so it stays on. And then the rest of my Pride drawings as well, which are just there. I did these like last year, and I just like to have them up in my room, really. So yeah, each of them represents like the different letters. So I was trying to. That's why there's a plus on the other wall, just to represent as many people as possible. Yeah. And then here's the signed John Wardley pictures. Really happy to have those. It would be nice because it's obviously been designed for signatures. It would be nice to get like John Burton maybe to sign. I know he didn't design these 2 rides, but it would be nice to get someone else to sign it up there as well. Just so we've got like, because I would like to meet John Burton as well, because he's the closest we have to a new John Wardley. So yeah, if I get him to sign, it will either be that, or I would like to get John Wardley to sign my original Nemesis picture if I meet him again though. And then you've got the 2 posters from GullyCon 3 and then the GullyCon 2. I didn't actually go to GullyCon 2, but they were selling, they still had loads of spare posters on the second day, because they were making posters of all 3. And because they had some spare GullyCon 2 ones, I decided to buy that on the second day. So yeah, I have got both of those, and it looks really nice. And this is the main shelf. So on the top, Wild Mouse Wood. There's a Mitzi, which again is custom by me. Someone had made a beach bear one at GullyCon, so I was like, I'm inspired. So I made a Mitzi. The Wild Mouse Ball Wheel with a bit of polystyrene from a skiff at Cadbury World, and it's from a wall from Advertising Avenue. It's not from Cadabra like I initially thought it was. And then you've got a motor from the Raging River ride, which is now not close. It got relocated to Dreamland. It's at Palms. And then here's what I like to call the resin shelf. So yeah, it's all started with Warwick Castle, tiny little Warwick Castle there, and it's sort of expanded. I think then, was it was Revolution, I think, after that. Also got the 13 trophy, that was one of my first pieces of merch. That's there. I got that in 2016 when I did one of my first big coasters. This Helter Skelter's from an arcade. It's a money box, but I just like to have it on display. Sea life, sort of shark tank thing. I think that was from Blackpool. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Blackpool on it. It's the Curse of the Merlin. They tend to just do generic merch because it's cheaper to sell it at all the places then. And then yeah, it's just kind of expanded. The skull's from Coral Island. It's not actually themed to anything, but it looks cool. Same with the seagull. That's from the Silver Slipper in Great Yarmouth. Again, not themed to anything, but it looks good there. And then you've got the Curse of Alton Manor resin. That's one of my favourites. Hex, the Legend of the Towers. Favourite ride, full stop. So I'm really happy to have this. And I actually really like the way it looks. Yeah, the name plaque, it does look better on Curse, to be fair. But honestly, I love Hex. So, the detail on this, it's got the chained oak. I cannot wait to get back on there. The actual Towers one, which is there. Yeah, it doesn't have because it's not the actual full towers, it's just the front bit, so the Hex turret is like there kind of thing, so it's a little bit separate. And you've got the Nemesis monster there, which is better than the Nemesis train one. I don't... Yeah, this one's probably the most popular one, I'd imagine. I got the Nemesis and the Hex one on the same day. God, I just needed both of them. I might get Rita one. I've got my own theory on what's going to happen to Rita, so we'll have to wait and see. Then there's a Chessington one, which unfortunately has Cobra on it, so it just kind of makes it a bit outdated. It does have Vampire, and then around the back you've got Crop Drop, which, if you know my thoughts on Crop Drop, a bit of an underwhelming ride, to be fair. Tiger Rock, and I think there's something else on there, but I'm not 100%. No, it's just those, and it's got Chessington logo, but it does have more than it looks on the front. And obviously the animals in there, which represent the zoo, which I've never properly walked around there, but it is nice. It's got the older logo one, and it's nice because this will probably not be up to date soon, unfortunately, because the theme of Chessington is changing quite a bit. This from Blackpool, quite basic, but it looks nice. And then you've got the Needles resin, which the cable car looks great on there. Lighthouse as well, and yeah, there's like a camper van with a surfboard as well at the back, which looks nice. And then this is quite interesting. So, well, it's just kind of key rings, pin badges, little things on here. It's a token from Britannia Pier, and there's a pencil from the Crazy Golf at Cannon Hill Park. Yeah, these key rings are from like Birmingham, Frankfurt market, but I've managed to get all of the ones because I collected a lot of them over the years, and I managed to find out all of them that I had. There's Professor Burp, one of the new. I was going to get Bulwark's plush, but I collected a lot of plushes, so I thought we'll get the key ring of Professor Burp there because I bought a lot from Chessington. Vampire 35, which I think that was something like. Someone said it had sold out, but then I managed to get one on the next day anyway. So I'm happy about that, because obviously that won't be available after this year. Drayton Manor, that was like when it was one of the only things you could get from Drayton Manor at the time I bought that. And the sick one's really nice. A lot of these are like embossed as well, which is really, really good. All these pop badges. The Nemesis one, it was the last one that the staff member had on opening day. I always remember that. And when I was in the queue, I was in the queue at just about to get into Forbidden Valley. I was between Gleamywood and Forbidden Valley, and he was handing out these, and handed me the last one. And yeah, I'm glad to have it because I think by the time I got into the shop, they sold out of them. So. There's a Coral Island one, that's a really cheap one, it's from a 2p machine, I think. Valhalla one badge I've had for a long time because I couldn't get a t-shirt in my size the first time I rode it. So Gully Mouse pin and then a Jilly keyring because I wanted something with Jilly on because I don't have a Jilly plush. There's these magnifying glasses from the Sea Life Centres. There's this Harry Jones token, which I should probably have the other way around if I can flip it. Basically, I got given it because the staff member on Space, which was the old gyro swing they had, gave me two, and they said, oh, you can use it on here, or you can tell what's happened and use it on the dodgems. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to reuse it, and now they've got rid of that ride, and they don't use the tokens on the new gyro swing they've got. So I just kind of have it, and I'm not really supposed to have it, but I do. Yeah, then there's this Paulton's bone stand I made. One of the only things I've kind of made in engineering, using a computer, and then it was like laser cut. Took me ages to get it. It's not really designed better as a phone stand. It doesn't really fit my phone properly because the measurements aren't great. But it was before I even went to Paulton's as well. I made it. But it's now just a rest for the Blackpool thing there. That's my replica of the brick. You've got the Jorvik Viking token next to it, the Valhalla Dangler, which is nice. It's an older Valhalla one. It's not the reimagined one. I was going to get one of the massive plaques, but it was too expensive on the day, I think. So, and then you've got the fun cards down here from Ocean Beach, Funland, or Fun Park at Cannon Hill Park, and you can use it at Warwick and Rother Valley as well. They've got little parks across the country. That's South Parade Pier, and then South Pier at Blackpool. And then you like random stuff. You've got all these squash coins. Some of these I've been to and never vlogged from. Some places I've never actually been. There's some like Butlins Minehead ones and stuff in there, and the Doctor Who museum at Blackpool that I think I did go to once, but I don't remember it. I'm not sure. I don't remember it though. Then obviously the most recent one's a vampire one. This is Notebook from Alton Towers, which I got given. It's quite interesting because it's got Cloud Cuckoo Land on it. Original Nemesis, but I think I got given it in 2021 anyway. And then Marek's Pooh Man cards, which kind of works because I did that vlog from the Pooh Museum back in 2023, so I just have those there. And the 12th Doctor, my favourite Doctor, as a pin badge. And then we come down to the mug collection. So, yeah, there's a Joyland one, that's the Pooh Museum one, and I've decided to put these in because I'd rather not drink out of them, basically. I'd rather actually have them on display. There's a Western one, the Gromit one, which isn't from... It's not specifically for Thriller-matic, but we bought it back in 2013 when we did Thriller-matic. There's 13, and the Joby Carter's one. It looks like a car from the Skid. I can't remember if that was intentional or not, but it does. Lovely birthday bird and frog given to me at 3D printed and given to me at Gullycon. You can paint these, because a few people have bigger ones that they've painted, but I don't really want to, because I kind of want to leave them now rather than like possibly mess them up by painting them. There's a Dudley Canal squishy there. That is genuinely yeah, it's basically there as a... because I've never maybe been able to have from the Black Country Museum, so... You've got Elephant from Blackpool Zoo. There's a Toxicator pen, which you can't see. Just there. Sand from Great Yarmouth. I've had that for a long time. Vampire. The beer, sealed beer. Vampire. And then you've got all of these, so there's a... I'll get onto that. There's a DVD from Great Yarmouth Circus, which is really nice to watch. I need to watch that again, actually. It's from the 2018 show, and I bought that the year after. Loads of guidebooks like Wookie Hole, it's that one, Cheddar Gorge, Needles and stuff are in there. There's an Isle of Wight one. Then there's this Thorpe Park book which I've never read. Nemesis book by John Wardley, which I have started reading the first one, but I've barely got into it. You can see I've put a bookmark in there. Then this, which is the guidebook from the ship that was in Wonka at Great Yarmouth, which I do, yeah, there it is, that's the Wonka pin badge. Yeah, next to the Noah's Ark. And then there's the Richard Herring emergency questions. I just thought I'd put that in. It is signed by him, and it's like that first John Wardley book signed by him. Yeah, that's there, and a spotter's guide as well, because it like just put stuff from comedians that I own as well, because of like Taskmaster and connections they have to different attractions and stuff, because I have obviously done the Taskmaster experience. There's this from, again, Harry Jones Fairs, tended to partner up, or Pat Collins, tended to partner up with this monster truck company, so I have that there. I did have to take the batteries out of it because they almost destroyed it, like the remote. So I took those out, and it's now a nice display piece. But I think it would still work. I've had it for a long time. Then there's these, which are again signed. And yeah, you can see where is it there, the Taskmaster trophy. I didn't mention that. I've got that as well. Because I went to the experience, like you probably saw the photo from the end of it. And then come down here. There's not that much. These are just full of maps, on-road photo covers and stuff. It's just full. Even like boxes from some things, like merchandise that comes in boxes. So I just store a lot of that packaging in these. Lovely trick-or-treat town bag. Just think this has been in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory building. And then there's a flamingo one up, and there's another flamingo on the shelf below, which is the final shelf. This is the Pride Lego set, which is really nice. It's the only Lego set I've got in this room actually, but it works with like a lot of my other decorations up in here. And then these little models, I did have a Nick Street one, so basically you've got 2 Grand National trains, Big Dipper, Great Yarmouth roller coaster, Blue Flyer, and a bit of a beaten up Wild Mouse. There was a bigger Wild Mouse one, but it's too beaten up now. And a piece of track from it as well. And then there was a Nick Streak one, but it ended up being too small, and then it got really beaten up. So these are the ones I've got on here. And then just below here, you've got the other Flamingo Land bag. This one's got, I think, another photo cover in there. And then I'm not really sure. I think it's like more flyers and things. That are like advert flyers for like Gulliver's Parks and things. I just thought I'd put those in there and just like extras. And then this is the shelf that, apart from that, doesn't have any theme park stuff. This is my sort of complete collection, as complete as I could get it, of the Minecraft McDonalds toys from this year. Now I have got this villager dragon. This is one from a Minecraft mining kit. There's this Hot Wheels minecart, the pickaxe from the mining kit, and then this Chinese dragon, Steve. I collected those a long time ago, so I'll just put those there. And that villager I got from Yarmouth, so that was fairly recent, but I only actually opened it this year, so it took like 3 years for me to open it. And then these, now you might notice that some of them are made of cardboard. It's because there were 5 of them, so this is like all of the cubes that I could get, all of the adult ones I could get, and then obviously the bigger figures. These ones are made of cardboard because because they were so popular. I don't think I did that badly, to be honest. They were so popular that there were a few I couldn't get, so I ended up making little cardboard models. And if there's any of these 5 that you haven't got, I'm going to put them in the description, the printouts for these, just so they're more readily available. I haven't made cardboard models of any of the ones I have got though, because I just made these so it looks complete on the shelf, and they're not too bad. I made them so you can kind of connect them to the others, and you can colour in these bits. Like these squares on the front aren't part of the print, you just cut them out of what's left of the paper, and then you colour in the squares, so they're customisable like the actual ones were. So you can kind of play with them like the official ones. But yeah, then the last section of this is the fridge magnets. So yeah, got Needles, Robin Hill, Isle of Wight one from the dinosaur place, all the way down. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these. These ones I put on recently because I've found them out and was like, oh, these could work, couldn't they? That one's from Warwick Castle, it might not look like an actual thing. There's some like photo ones. I love the Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. It's like a tile, that one. Twin Lakes, which has the pirate thing on. It used to be my favourite area, Buccaneers Island, but they got rid of Wind in the Willows, so I know it is all pirate themed, but I'm still devastated about that. Apparently they are going to move it to Wheelgate, the theming though. Not really sure what they're going to do with it there, but as long as the animatronics are still there and stuff, main thing. So this one from Jewel, because Jewel barely had any merch, so I got the fridge magnet, and it does actually spin the target on it. It's sort of blocked by that other magnet there from Blackpool, but yeah. And that is the July 2025 merchandise and just kind of room tour general. So it's been a little bit different, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to do these. Basically, when there's like another noticeable change, because now you've seen all of my older merch, you can kind of just, I've caught up with showing every piece of merch, every drawing, sort of custom things that I have that I wanted to show in my room. So it means that, like, unless something big changes, I'll just show it at the end of each video, but I might, instead of just putting a picture of it up, I might actually show where I've added it into my collection instead. And that might be a better way to do this than, like, do merch tours all the time. But yeah, that is it from this interest. I think I am going to call this a vlog, just so it fits in the channel's kind of different playlists. But yeah, a bit of a different vlog. But yeah, and soon the gaming series is going to continue with Planet Zoo. I will be honest, I still haven't really done much, but I am going to get back into the swing of things and do that Planet Zoo. And also, I was going to do this, so you might notice there was a short on the channel about Doctor Who, like where Shooty regenerates into me, basically. And the reason I put that up and then I took it down was because it was going to be like an animation. I was going to make a continuation of the last series, but how I'd have ended it, or at least a better way than the way they actually ended it, so I could play the Doctor and stuff. But I just thought, is this going to work? Do I feel right about putting this online? Is it going to be one of those things I look back on, it's going to be, eh. So I decided I'll keep the Space Pirates one up, because that's a recon, but I don't know, it just wouldn't, I don't think it would have worked out in the long term. So that's why I've took that down. I've changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to make it. I might do something else in the future if I feel more confident about it, but that's what that was about. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to continue with like standard videos as always going on. Now I can just focus on Planet Zoo. To be fair though, there is another Minecraft video I'm making about a Doctor Who map that I've been working on, but which I've had for a long time, but I've never made a video on it. So that will be coming out as well at some point. But I think I want to get that first park on Planet Zoo done. Then I can do the Minecraft one, because there's one thing I need to build, but it's going to take a while. And then that'll be it then. And I can get on with Planet Coaster 2 and maybe alternate, or just do catch up with Planet Coaster recreations, and then catch up with Planet Zoo then.